Hey, what's up, guys? I got the new fossil support from Ghosts from the Past, and there's another card from Dimension Force that really helped things out a little bit. Mainly the Ghosts from the Past stuff is what really brought us here today. But this new card it also helps out too. We'll get to him when we get to him. Don't wait on him too long, but he'll be here. He's in here somewhere. So starting off, we've got the new card. We got like several new cards, but realistically, I only play two of the new cards because I think those are the only two you need. I think Shell Knight's like he's like kind of cool and interesting because like he searches for level 8, but we don't have Block Dragon, so it's like what's the point? Like like that was like the best level 8 rock monster you could have searched for. Maybe even the only level 8 rock monster you could have searched for, but whatever. So moving on to Flint Cracker, when this card is special summoned by any means, you can send a fossil fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So if you need to send any of the level 6s to get a card pop, or you have fossil fusion, you need to get a time stream or something, or just to give you a monster to fuse with, you can send any of them, but mainly you can send Skullgar, so you can banish him and then search for fossil fusion and get things started right away. And that's like the main thing that like really gave this deck a lot of consistency, because now it's like it's much easier to get into Fossil Fusion without having to get Weathering Soldier and sending him to grave by some card effect, and specifically not by cost and all that nonsense. It was a bit much. So now we have this guy to really like he's like the main guy now. Like we still play Weathering Soldier because Miracle Rupture is like a really good card. But you could even like consider like I've considered actually taking out the Weathering Soldier and the Miracle Rupture to like focus on this guy. But I still think the other route is still really good. Moving on, we play two Weathering Soldiers. Also consider cutting him down to one, but then like Miracle Rupture would be kind of like not as strong with just one, and like we do have a couple of cards that do discard, not for cost and everything, and like a couple of ways to get rid of him. So he's still pretty good because sometimes you search Fossil Fusion off of him, and you search like, or you get the Fossil Fusion off of him, and then you get the Time Stream off of Weathering Soldier, so you can get things going. So he's still like a strong card for the deck, but he just has like a very strange trigger. Moving on, we have two Rock Band Xeno Guitar. Rock Band Xeno Guitar is cool. He's like a great way of getting a great way of sending Weathering Soldier to grave. When he's banished, you send any rock monster from your deck to your grave, and he also has a cool effect when he's sent to the graveyard. You add a rock monster from your graveyard to your hand, and then you put a card back from your hand on top of the deck. So you can search for so you can add back any monster, any rock monster that is in your grave. Put it on top of the deck, activate any Adamancipator, and then summon it right back. And you're guaranteed to like get a good hit. And a lot of these rock monsters are 4 for like mainly Gallant Granite, which is cool too, and he fits the bill too. So you can actually like make a Gallant Granite with him and something else, and then search for our next guy, which is Gigantes. Gigantes is really good. It's like a free extra monster. You lose nothing from banishing. It's like, and in cases like Rock Band Xeno Guitar, it helps you out anyways. And he's just a free summon, everything, it's all good. He has a cool effect too. When he was destroyed by battle, destroy all spells and traps on the field, which is like, you can get like a Harpy's Feather Duster if you don't mind losing your battle phase for a turn. Pretty cool stuff. Moving on, we play 2 Kawaki Medu Guardian and 1 Kawaki Medu Supplier. I play Supplier because he's a free summon from the hand, and he also gets you another resource because he searches for a Kawaki Medu when he special summons. So you can get this. So you get a monster on the field, and the card you like, instead of having one less card in your hand, you get like a card to replace it, which is like pretty cool. And then Guardian's just really good. Like you like reveal them off of an Adamancipator, and then you have like a monster negate. So if they have like Nibiru or something, or like if you go through your whole combo and you like keep them on the field and like you don't finish them off, then you can end your turn with him still on the field and like have like a monster negate for their turn, which is pretty cool. There's stuff like that, little things like that. Moving on to our Adamancipator stuff, we play 3 Analyzer. So this is a going second deck. So, you know, starting with Analyzer is just really good. Like, you can do a lot, just special summoning Analyzer and just getting the right cards, like, off of his reveals. And, like, things really move up and up and up. And it's just, like, really, really cool. And then, like, it's like, at what point are they going to stop it? Because you never even normal summoned yet. So at any point you can throw down like a Doki Doki or something and like get access to like so many different things. So Analyzer is just extremely good to start with. Next we have Adamancipator Researcher. Researcher is really especially really good with Flint Cracker because Flint Cracker is level 3. So this and this is like, you know, you get the Fossil Fusion and you can synchro these two away for a Naturia Beast. If like if things go wrong and you went first or something, Naturia Beast is just a really strong card to have. And Adamancipated Researcher is a free summon, special summons itself, reveal the top 5, summon a 4, lower non-tuner rock monster. This is really good, really strong card. And this is the main thing you search off of the Gallant Granite. It's typically this or the Gigantes if you have the Rock Band Xeno guitar. Moving on, we have 2 Century Soldier of Stone. This is an extremely good card, and like the more I play it, the better and better it gets. Like this card is just like, at first I was kind of iffy about it. I was like, it seems kind of like slow and like janky and just kind of like eh. But like Yugioh Resonator came out, or not Yugioh Transverser. This card is really good. This and any other monster, you make that, and then like you can bring this back because Transverser is a rock monster, and switch this for like a Dragoon or something. It's just like, that's like really strong. You can discard this off of Doki, you can summon Doki Doki, discard this, and then summon this, and then trigger its effect, and you can get this back, and you just have like a bunch of rock monsters in the field. Like, there's just so much this card does to like, really just like, balance out the deck, and just help you out. It's just really good. Next we play, I cut Doki Doki down to 2, because like I feel like opening up too many normal summons like this, Weathering Soldier, Rock Band Xeno guitar, Century Soldier of Stone, just too many things that like you just normal summon. It's just like, it's just too much, and then it's like it's too cloggy, and then like you can't really do much. So, and like if you normal summon this and then they stop it and you have a handful of normal summons, and it's like, well, what are you really supposed to do at that point? So I cut him down to 2, but he's still extremely good. A lot of what we play are level 4s and whatnot. So, like everything has a level that matches it. So like Doki Doki and Researcher are both level 2s. Everything else is level 4s. Century Soldier of Stone and Flint Cracker are both 3s. So everything searches for something, except for Nemesis Keystone. I don't play another level 1 rock, but whatever. Nemesis Keystone's cool. He helps us recycle our Fossil Fusion monsters that were banished, or any of our banished monsters. And he himself recycles himself, because at the end phase, if he was banished, then you can add him back to your hand. So he's like a free resource and everything. He just keeps recurring and like help us keep our stuff replenished for like grind games. And he's also a rock himself. So you would banish him off of Fossil Fusion. So it's like, he's really cool in that sense, because you can just keep, he's like an infinite Fossil Fusion resource if you just keep looping him around. And last but not least, our new card from Dimension Fusion, or whatever it was. Venitas. This is this guy. So what he does, you target a monster you control and destroy it if its type and attribute are different from his. So he is a light warrior, and our Weathering Soldier, wherever he is, over here, no, he's called right here. Our Weathering Soldier is a Earth rock, and he's a light warrior, so he's completely viable for his effect. You just target a monster you control, destroy it, special summon him. So what's it called? So you destroy this, so you summon this, destroy it, and then you get to search for Fossil Fusion and all that nonsense. And this is also a level 6. That's a free summon. It has some like gain attack effect, but that's like irrelevant. We're playing fossils. We don't care about what this guy has to do. But he's a level 6. You get an analyzer on the field, and then the 2 of them are Baron de Fleur or you can link it away or whatever. But that's the main thing. He lets you destroy Weathering Soldier, get whatever engraved that you want engraved, and then he's a pretty easy bro on the flare. So that's like the main thing about him. That's really, really cool. So thought I'd try him out. Next, moving on to our spells. We're going second. We gotta be very aggressive when it comes to back row and monsters and whatnot. So we play 3 Lightning Storm and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. These are both very strong to start with. You can wipe out like entire boards with it, depending on what order you use the 2 of them and whatnot. It's just really good cards. Next we have our 3 Miracle Ruptures to send like mainly what you want to send is Weathering Soldier, but you could also send Sentry Soldier of Stone, Nemesis Keystone if you want to get him into the loop, and the Rock Band Xeno Guitar if you want to banish it to search, just to get like a little bit of extra like leeway. There's like stuff like that. Next we have 3 Fossil Fusion. This is our main card of the deck. Literally our fusion card we need. It's very simple. We banish from your graveyard. You can banish both materials from your graveyard or from your opponent's graveyard as well, and then summon the corresponding Fossil Fusion monster from the extra deck, depending on what they have banished. This is a really strong card. It's like Invocation, but like Invocation but a little weaker, but it also gives us some protection. If you banish from both players' graveyards, it gives the monster protection from... It gives the Fossil Fusion monster protection from targeting. Next we have 3 Time Stream. Time Stream is a really cool card. It lets you cheat out the Fossil Fusions a little bit. So let's say your opponent's playing a deck with like that has no level 6 or highers or something, or they just have a bunch of link monsters and like little monsters. So you can Time Stream and then Time Stream into the level Fossil Fusion into the level 4 that searches for Time Stream when he gets banished, and then Time Stream him, and then banish him, search for Time Stream, and then go up again because the card is not once per turn. It also has Recursion. You can banish Time Stream and a Fossil Fusion monster from your graveyard, target another Fossil Fusion monster in your graveyard, and special summon it. These are pretty strong stuff. Next we have 2 1-ups. Well, 2 other 1-ups other than Harpy's Feather Duster. We have Monster Reborn. I always like playing Monster Reborn, especially in a deck like this where we like spam so much and combo so much. You know, I just feel like it's a really good extender, depending on what you have and whatnot. And Foolish Burial, just because we have a lot of things that like to be sent to grave. Miracle Rupture is a hard one per turn. You could even cut that to 2 and then play the 3rd Foolish Burial so that you can see this and that, and then just start getting the graveyard set up for other plays and whatnot. And this card I really like. Like, it's always like just been really, really cool. Magnet Reverse. Magnet Reverse is like 2-for-1 special. It's like you can recycle a banished Fossil Fusion monster because like you bring it back into like the field or the graveyard, or you can look at it as you're getting an extra monster in the field and you can attack for a game with it or whatnot. Either way, it's like it's just a really, really good like strong card in the deck, and it's really fun to like work with. And lastly, we have our 3 Imperms. I don't play that many hand traps because of all the Adamancipators we play. I feel like too much of certain stuff will just make me whiff. So that's why we have such a high monster count and whatnot. I'm a very paranoid young man. Moving on to our extra deck. Starting off with our Link 1. Relinquished Anima for our Nemesis Keystone. Originally I was playing Link Rebo, but I was like, forget it, we gotta go full aggression. We gotta like because Link Rebo's good in case you go first, but this is like this and Geonator Transverser is like no zone is safe. So it's like it's just really fun to do that. Just take a bunch of monsters and like there's no better way of getting a monster into the grave than taking it with Relinquished Anima or Geonator Transverser and then linking them away. So that guaranteed monsters in the graveyard. Next we have 3 Link 2s. We have the Man, the Myth, the Legend, Geonator Transverser, Cross Sheep, the Goat, or the Sheep, and then Nightmare Phoenix, the bird, who's a fiend. So Geonator Transverser is a rock, which is like puts synergy already. Like there's just already so much you can do with it, and so many and like things that allows it for you to do. Like I said before, with the Century Soldier of Stone, you can banish off Fossil Fusion, all that kind of nonsense. You can even bring it back with a Magna Reverse. But the best thing is that you can the cards it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and you get to switch control of like a monster you have that it points to and a monster your opponent has that it points to. It's a really interesting, fun card, and it can help you just like end games if they Predator Point Dragoon, like you're already in a really good spot, and like ending the game is like within like arm's length at that point. Cross Sheep is a really good extender, you know, since we have so many Synchros and Fusions, which are his two better. His Fusion is the best effect. Synchro is like second, maybe third, depending on how you look at Ritual, but that's besides the point. So the Fusion lets you target. So when a Fusion monster is summoned to a zone, or a Fusion monster is pointing to a zone, and a monster is special summon, you can summon a level 4 or lower from your graveyard, which is like a free like extender, like just helps you like really like push to maybe help you make like a Boar Sword or something, or like, well, I used to play Boar Sword, but you can just go into like a Nightmare Phoenix or Nightmare Unicorn or whatever. But if you have a Fusion or a Synchro and then you summon the opposite, so if you have a Fusion pointing here, and then you summon a Synchro here, you get both effects. So you get to summon another monster, and a Synchro is that all your monsters gain 700. So with our Fossil Fusion monsters that like attack twice, do piercing, or do double battle damage, that extra 700 is like a lot more damage. It's like an extra 700 per attack, or 1400 if it's double battle damage. The Cross Sheep is like really, really cool in that sense. And then Nightmare Phoenix, simple, we're going second. Sometimes you gotta hit those hand traps and whatnot. Not much to say about, I mean, not hand traps, floodgates, or just spells and traps that you're worried about. Other nonsense like that. We play one Link 3, we play Nightmare Unicorn. If there's a problem card, he can solve it, most likely. Not much to say about him. We play one XYZ, Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite lets us simple card, detach, search for any rock monster in the entire game, even like something like Nibiru if you want to play it. Personally, I don't, but you can search for anything, which is really, really cool. And there's like, and he also lets you set a rock monster from your hand, but we're not setting any of these guys ever, hopefully. For our Synchros, I do them all together. We play one Naturia Beast, one Raptite, and one Baron de Fleur. Naturia Beast is just like a really good, like, if we're not going to finish them off, or if we happen to go first, we make an Naturia Beast because it's pretty simple. It's a 5 Earth Tuner and not Earth Tuner. And like everything we have is like Earth. So it's fine. It's easy. And then just lock them out of spells. It's just extremely good. And then Raptide over here, he you summon there's just a couple of level 2s, and Researcher himself is a 2, so making Raptide is pretty easy. It just lets you dig further into the deck for another monster. But if you actually get an Analyzer off of him, then the Analyzer and Raptide go right into Baron de Fleur, which is like, you know, we have, since we're going second, like his pop and his negate like really, really come in handy. Like if you go first, yeah, you know, you can try and make him and him or whatever and try and like do your best that you can. But like going second, like Baron de Fleur really, really shines because you get that non-target. I mean that not once that soft once return pop and everything. Like it's just really, really good. And then the gate, if they have like a Nibiru last second or something, strong protection. And for our Fossil Fusions, we'll do the levels at a time. So we play 2 of the level 4s. We play 1 Skullgar, 1 Skullbone. Skullgar, when he's banished, the like effects on these two are kind of irrelevant other than the banished effects. Even though 25 is bigger than like some of the other ones, it's probably like one of the bigger of the Fossil Fusions, believe it or not. But when he's banished, he searches for Fossil Fusion, and when he's banished, he searches for Time Stream. That is their main thing that they do. And next we have our new card and our not so new card. We have our Fossil Machine Skull Wagon, and then we have our Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. I'm so happy we finally got this guy. There's so many like depending on the matchup, like we always like went into this guy off of like Time Stream and whatnot. But like the banish the pop didn't always come up because like sometimes you cleared all the monsters between the unicorn and the unicorn lightning storm, all that nonsense. But like it just wasn't like doing anything. But sometimes, you know, you just have like extra like back row and you're like worried about what it is and you gotta force it out or whatever. Now we have this guy and he's like the complete opposite. Banish, pop a monster, banish, pop a spell or trap. Very simple. Not much to say. We have our 2 level 6s and everything. We have our options. It's great. And then our boss monsters. Fossil Dragon Skullgios and Fossil Warrior Skull King. Skull King's personally my favorite, but Skullgios is probably better because he ends games a lot more. He does double battle damage, and when he attacks, you can choose whether he's calculating with their attack or the defense. So if you cross sheep with the Synchro and make him gain 700, he's 42, he does double battle damage. If they have any stat that's 0, they have nothing to stop him, you basically have won the game right there. Skull King attacks twice with like no restriction, not on monsters. If he destroys a monster, he just attacks twice. And he's 28, so attacking twice is 56. He also does piercing, they both do piercing. And on top of all that, if you get that extra 700, he's 35. So that's like 7,000. You just got a little, and then cross sheep's like 14 at that point. So that's game. So it's like they're both really good. But this one has an actual effect during your opponent's turn. You can target a monster in their graveyard, special summon it, and then discard a card, so that it can trigger Weathering Soldier. But that's like kind of relevant. Maybe if you play like Dark Worlds or something, it'd be kind of cool. But that's pretty cool because it can help you like disrupt their combo if you didn't finish them off. Like, you know, they might be activating like their Eldritch effect and you just take it or something like that. Little things like that. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any recommendations on rock monsters or rock combos I should try, please let me know in the comments. I always take a look and read, and I always say I'm going to reply, but I never do. This time I will. Thank you, guys.